And welcome to the podcast. This is Hans Kim here, doing a podcast. So, this is just a good time overall. We're all having fun, and we are relaxing and waiting for things to pop off. Hopefully, this is all working. Yesterday, I was very sad because I thought I had been forgotten by my mentors and my overlords, but it turns out I had actually been forgotten by my mentors and overlords. But then I was remembered in a very quick fashion. It's always called filial impropriety, whatever. The good thing is it's getting out there. What's up, Hans? Says Robert Ray. What's up, Robert Ray? Says Hans. And I got the call last night at 8:10 p.m. from the man himself, Joe Rogan, and then I took a little trip downtown and did a little SETI poo in one of the best, probably the best comedy show in the world happening right now at the Vulcan. Thanks for loving to see me on Kill Tony, Robert Ray. And performed for a sold-out crowd. Oh, I'm always so nervous before I do it. It's such a nerve-wracking situation because they have such high expectations because comedy, they're used to seeing comedy being so awesome. They're used to Joe Rogan level of authenticity and talent. So it's just one of the most nerve-wracking crowds to perform in front of because they're always judging you. They're like, I don't know if this is the best of the best of the best. Luckily, Tim Dillon was there to pick up the slack that I might have produced, but I probably didn't because otherwise, why would Joe Rogan want me? So, I have faith in Joe Rogan. And if he has faith in me, then whatever. Tony, I guess, I don't want to make it a big deal, but yeah, I was super, super sad yesterday, and I streamed it live. Norm's Ghost says, hopefully this isn't offensive, but do those eyes provided the same views that mine do? Hopefully they provided a view that is better at detecting grammatical errors than you do. But I don't know. How would I know? How would I know what kind of view my eyes provide compared to what views your eyes provide? It's an interesting question that you ask that might be a curiosity-inducing to you, but is actually impossible to answer, and also sort of a dead end conversationally. So maybe have like a little bit more, like awareness and forethought into like asking questions that might be at the tip of your tongue, but might not be the best for continuing a conversation with an Asian. Just assume that my eyes provide a view that is a view that looks like the type of view that these eyes would produce. If your eyes look like this, I'm a human just as yourself. I know it's very difficult for some of you to have empathy and see things from other people's eyes or perspectives, but give it a shot and don't just rely on your conversational partner to make it easy to empathize with them, but work on your empathizing muscle and see how far you get. How do you come up with a minute per week? I have a backlog right now of jokes that I'm dipping into, and then I'm always writing. I could do a minute of new stuff every week if I wanted to, but it's sort of like I don't want to bomb. So I do some jokes that I know will work. I try to sprinkle in some new stuff, but I have so many old jokes. And I hope it never runs out. I'm always surprised. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that joke. I did come up with a new joke by looking through my notes that I took during the pandemic. That's how I came up with the child molester joke. Like, why would you molest a child? They have the most time to come take revenge on you. Not avenge you. Everyone was so mad that I said avenge you. What's my process is I write 2,000 words every day into my little Bluetooth keyboard and into my phone. And then it goes right into the keyboard and I write 2,000 words. I do a word check word count on my Google Docs. I make it black or whatever. Yeah, I mean, I write 2,000 words, and that gets me in the process of writing down my thoughts, and it teaches me how to write. And then for the rest of the day, I have had that practice of writing down my thoughts. So if I have a thought, it's easier to write down a thought because I've practiced writing down thoughts. And fucking down thoughts. I would love to have sex with thoughts. Good to hear you got the call last night. All that doubt and disappointment you felt, not needed. Well, it's how I was feeling. I don't have emotions for a purpose. I just have emotions as a result of what I'm going through. But yeah, I mean, I shouldn't be so down on myself, and I should try to pick myself up and be a happy, happy boy. Because tonight I'm going to open up for Joe Rogan, and this whole weekend I'm going to open up for Joe Rogan. And tomorrow, Thursday night, I'm going to go to a little town called Houston, Texas, and do the Secret Show, headlining a set there. And so, it's just fucking awesome. If you're in Houston, please come down and visit and buy a ticket. I get a percentage of that. So, are you worried about the Omarion? Yeah, I mean, maybe he's like Usher or Jason Derulo. Maybe he'll punch me if I call him Usher. I'm worried about Omarion. I'm worried that he's a R&B singer that hasn't put out a hit in recent years. I'm worried about his career. I'm worried about his children's future. I'm really worried about Omarion. I hope Omarion can make a quick recovery, and I hope that he doesn't lose his sense of taste, because his taste is very good at whatever. Are you worried about the Omarion? I mean, cases are sky high in America right now. It's very disturbing and very unnecessary and worrying, but what are you going to do? We've already established that we're going to do literally nothing against the coronavirus. Masks? No. Stay inside? No. Vaccine? No. We're just going to get it. There's literally nothing we will do to stop getting it. Anything that is remotely helpful against the coronavirus, we've already decided it's not in our wheelhouse. We're just going to freedom our way out of this pandemic. And, I hope it works. Because, the virus just has to decide, like, okay, I'm bored now. Let's just be a localized phenomenon like the fucking, like, Kiss or like, the Beach Boys. We just got to hope it plays itself out and goes away on its own, because we're totally at the mercy of this virus that doesn't even have a brain for the future of the only sentient species that we know on Earth. So, yeah, hopefully it decides to have mercy on us and just quietly will go away into the night. But honestly, it's not up to us anymore. It's up to the virus, since we've displayed that our ability to think long-term and consciously is not as up to the challenge as a virus. A virus has a better long-term strategy than we do. I mean, we have a pretty good civilization going. It's just worrisome that we're not willing to do anything about it. Disease, even though we have all the tools at our disposal. We just have to stop shopping for a bit, but we really love shopping. How can you get us to stop shopping? That is an American right. Do you test out the minutes or try them for the first time on Kill Tony? I try not to try them out for the first time on Kill Tony. I've done it once with the Kyle Rittenhouse jokes. But that shit is on there forever, and I want that to be like a repository of all my best shit. But yeah, I mean, who knows? I would put that minute on Kill Tony higher than some of my shows that I do. A lot for most of the shows that I do. It's just it's just crazy because it's out there forever, and I want my legacy on Kill Tony to be a positive one. And I want to just kill with the minutes, and I want to do really well, so I just try to make the minutes the best you can. Can you open your eyes when you talk to us? Can you open eyes when you talk to us? Yeah, I can open eyes when I talk to you, but they won't be my eyes. It'll be someone else's eyes. The funny thing is that when I'm wearing glasses, my eyes look more open for some reason. I think it's like a trick of the lens that it projects onto whatever or something. Okay, now I can read the chat and also look like my eyes are open. Um, Thoughts on Patton Oswalt being a bad friend to Mr. Sheppel? Thoughts on Patton Oswalt. Chappelle. I think that Chappelle's talked about transgender people a lot, and I think I wouldn't have made that choice. I mean, who gives a fuck what I would have done? But yeah, I mean, I think he's like found a little itch in our society that we are very sensitive about, and then he keeps picking at it. Um, and I don't know. I don't know. He seems pretty dead set on talking about transgender stuff. And then Patton Oswalt responding to the criticism of him taking a picture with Dave Chappelle and being like, "I support transgender rights." I don't know what exactly he said, but I think that Patton Oswalt shouldn't have like responded back to the mob. I mean, Dave Chappelle, you might not agree with him about what he said about transgender people, but I think that you can admire someone and be friends with someone even if they're transphobic. And I think that you should be friends with people instead of shunning them for having problematic views, because you can work better within the system. Maybe we should just have like a shunning process where anyone who has problematic views we treat like shit. But that's not how humans work. Humans have lots of different views on lots of different things, and we get along with each other even if we don't agree with them. And the thing about humans is that we're not opinion gathering machines. We have more value than our stances, and just because you're wrong on a stance doesn't mean that that you should not have friendship or be a part of society. And I think that Dave Chappelle does have a large influence, so he has more of a responsibility, but I don't think that we should emotionally hurt him or socially ostracize him. I think that just a conversation and a back and forth is what we should do. I didn't have a slip and fall. If people pump more dollars, will you pump more air into the neck pillow? Sure. Hans, what the heck is that on your neck? It's a cervical traction device that prevents my discs from squishing into each other and the fucking juices in my disc or whatever. This neck pillow is this is how coronavirus spread. Someone put in a neck pillow and then they just released the valve on Americans and Italians in Bergamo. Yeah, I don't know why Patton Oswalt posted such a long thing. I mean, you shouldn't have to explain why you took a picture with people. Would you marry a white woman, Hans, or strictly Korean, or maybe just Asian for marriage? I would marry a white woman before I married an Asian that's not Korean, because that's just like so weird to see an Asian face and they don't speak Korean or love K-pop or eat tteokbokki. Like, what? Like, you're so close to human, but you don't watch K-dramas. It's like, are you even one of us? It's just so confusing. No, I'm obviously kidding. I love Japanese women. I watch a lot of their pornography. I love Chinese women. If they made good pornography, I would watch it. I really don't give a shit about people's races, but you have to be hot. If hot is a race, then I'm a racist. Yeah, but every race has hot women in it, so I'm totally down for a hot girl. Like, if a hot girl wanted to marry me and she was Chinese, I'd be like, actually, I'm looking for a Korean hot girl. Next. Nice strike, CCP. Chinese GF agrees. Yeah, I mean, why are you like looking for a certain type of love from a certain race? Would you marry a black woman? Yes. Zendaya is black, I think. Zendaya. Who else is black? A lot of hot black girls. You got the fucked up from Scrunch sleeping in his van. I wish. No kettlebell yet. I should get one. Where do you think the best open mic to go to in Austin is to watch young comedians outside of Kill Tony? Creek in the Cave is always good and depressing. Lucky Duck is no, I wouldn't go to Lucky Duck. It's just too chaotic. It's outside. There's picnic tables. People are just talking. It's a bunch of cool kids, bunch of yuppies, yuppieing it up. Romo Room has weird mics. Alice Hamilton, I don't know who she is. Skylar's sisters are hot. What's the race of this girl's apartment you're staying in? She's white. I think, I don't know. What sorts of things are generally taboo in Korean comedy scene, whether or not you agree with them? Insulting the great dear supreme leader, Kim Jong-un, Kim Il-sung. Salute to the man that kept North Korea a hermit kingdom. Generally, taboo is being anti-South Korean. J Park or J-bomb. Someone, he was like in 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. or some Korean band, and someone was digging through his tweets when he was like in the Korean boot camp for K-pop. And they found a tweet where he's like, man, I hate South Korea. They don't even have fucking Frito-Lays or some bullshit. They're like, look, he hates South Korea. He's not one of us. And then there was like a huge mob, and then he got canceled in Korea. And so they treasure loyalty and Koreanness. It's a whole different country over there. I don't know if you've ever been to Korea, but it's not America. It's like a land. It's like their home. It's Korea. It's where they all are. It's like it is their home. That's where they're from. It's the land, and you know, it's like it's cool. You see a building. It's like the science building. This is where the Koreans do science in here. And this is the fucking, you know, business building. They just build buildings, and it's like controlled by Koreans, and it's like going to an alien planet and then being like, oh, so this is where you guys live. You built it all for you to live here and all that. Nice soy boy neck brace. Yeah, I got it because I was choking motherfuckers out with fucking triangles, I guess. Did Kim Jong-il really invent the burrito? If he did, that'd be ill. Have you seen the Propaganda Game documentary? No, I haven't. I love propaganda. I love the idea of it. Our minds are moldable and shapeable. Atheists be like, everything I own was designed and created, but there's no way that all of nature was created. No way, LOL. Well, if there's data that nature was created, I mean, nature is created. I create nature in the toilet every day, so I don't know what you mean by created. But everything I designed and owned, just because this table was designed by someone doesn't mean that a God exists. I mean, there is a creator. It's stars. Stars exploding created all the atoms. I don't know why. Like, if that's how you prove that God exists, is just because things are created. I don't know. I think I need more proof than that. Can you roast yourself? Yeah, I have a long face. I have small eyes. I cut my own hair. Whatever. You're supposed to do that once in middle school and never again, not at 35. Your eyes. I'm very skinny. Still making any trips to San Antonio? Yeah, I'm working on a show in San Antonio. Hopefully William will go with me. He hasn't confirmed yet, but I am planning to go to the Blind Tiger. So stay tuned on my IG. I'm in Dallas next Friday, 2 shows at the Dallas Comedy Club. So if you're in Dallas, come out. And in Houston tomorrow, Thursday. Yeah, cut this shit. That way I don't have to go talk to some woman who doesn't like talking to autistic people and thinks she's better than nerds, and pretend to like commune with her or whatever. I just cut my own hair. I don't have to spend $25 on a cheerleader. Uh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't mean to sound like women hating, but most of them are women and like supercuts and all that, and it's just like some of them are cool people. But I don't enjoy being forced to talk to people, and in haircuttery situations, it's like I don't know. I don't like it. I'd rather just be here, just learn how to listen to Hans. Yeah, women, why don't you all change for me? A tornado going through a junkyard can make a functional commercial airplane. Hey Hans, animals, plants, beautiful landscapes are way more impressive than your stupid table. LOL. So you don't think that animals evolve from lower animals, organisms? I just don't understand why in 2022 we're having this conversation. Um, I so you think that like because animals are so complicated, someone must have made it, but there must be a complicated animal that can be made not by a creator, but by slowly evolving over time, given enough time. So, I mean, just because it's complicated doesn't mean that someone had to have created it. It could have just been natural selection. And I mean, even if you don't think that, uh, like maybe God was in charge of natural selection, just put your God into a corner more and more. As we learn more, he's like in charge of natural selection. Because it's pretty obvious that if you have a cell that divides and it keeps dividing, it's going to get better and better, and then it's going to give way to lots of different shit. Animals are complicated, but there's lots of ways to create complicated things from simplicity, and we have enough time and resources on hand to make that happen. I mean, barbershops are great, but it's money, and you don't have to talk. You were whining yesterday, and it sounds like you got this whole lineup coming up. I fell for it. Oh, I'm sorry if I made everyone sad by being sad, but I, uh, I hope I can convey my emotions accurately, and maybe I fall through pits of depression, and it's not pleasant to watch. But hey, at least there's an upside to it. So keep watching. If you're sad now, hopefully it'll get better. I like the boobs on my shoulder during the haircut. Yeah, that's pretty nice. I wonder how conscious it is. Some people do it more than others. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know if I should go expect that. Because then if you're expecting it, then you're weird. Then you're all in the chair like, oh, this is just how I sit. Yeah, you're just gonna have to cut around it, I guess. My teddygrams are right here. Always got my teddygrams ready. Abiogenesis and radical mutant speciation are far-fetched. When you said you're an atheist because you go on the internet, pretty much made me a fan. Thank you. I don't think the other guy's a fan. Where's the Salt Lick? I don't know. I don't know where the Salt Lick is. But yeah, I mean, there's a reason deer lick salt licks. And what, you think you're better than a deer? I trust in the wisdom of the deer, so I also lick salt licks. Talk about physics and gravity. I love physics. Statics, dynamics, pulleys, weights, mass times gravity is the force exerted downward on Earth, and it's all about allaying that force in different directions. You pull up on a lever with mass times gravity, then you lift it. 1/2 mv squared of mass times velocity squared divided by 2 is like the energy or something, the force. It's just all math, like you push this laptop. It's the force pushing back on it, the spring and the whatever, spring in the laptop, with the spring constant. And it's just cool that everything that we see can be quantified in numbers. And it's just cool that we live in a universe that can be described and understood. And I think that my time in learning all this shit in Georgia Tech for my mechanical engineering degree really gave me a sense of the world and taught me like how to look at things as forces and clamping and friction and shear stress and all that. Really let me know about different things. Would you rock the colorful K-pop bowl cut? Yes. So stop being so true to yourself, Hans. He did open for Joe yesterday. Sorry if you were depressed for me. I forget that sometimes my depression is spreadable. I'll try to keep my mask on, my metaphorical mask, to keep my depression follicles inside my brain mouth. Does God live at the bottom of the ocean? Sure. The V is always a bit uncomfortable. That's for my shoulder titties. Needs a voice. Swollen lymph nodes in the neck. It's just a disc problem. Do you have a particular platform you want us to check out? No, not really. I've put everything on my YouTube, and you're already on my YouTube. I would like to diversify my portfolio, and I'm broadcasting on Twitch as well. William's show next week. Are you talking about the Creek? William wasn't able to do the show at the Creek. Yeah, I mean, let's take it off. We're going naked neck. This neck needs to be shown off to all the world. I think it's funny that I'm not high, I'm not tired, my eyes are open. Yeah, I wish I was high, I guess. Being high is fun, but it fucks up my throat, so. The thing is, whenever I go to the Joe Rogan shows or the Kill Tonys, it's just so terrible how much free weed is available. And then I usually smoke some of it. I should have... I am Asian. I think Asians are the next superpower since America is making every mistake in the book. I think that we have a more stable solution, and I think that maybe we need to do a better job with emphasizing the power of the individual and really letting people be creative and be crazy and weird. And I think the best balance would be both. But of course, I would say that I'm Korean American. I want to, I want to create a world where I have the most advantages. So I want to create a world where America and Asia can survive as one. I am the lube that will make America's cock slide gently into Asia's anus. And I hope that we can do a lot of thrusts back and forth. You're getting less funny. Hans, you have one job. Fucking do it, bud. What the fuck is your job? Your name is a joke, my cunt. But yeah, I mean, all these people think that they need to bully me and reprimand me and, do all these boomer spanking type child raising techniques. But actually, that's not a helpful way to develop and grow. It's what you had to go through and what made you the bitter, angry person that you are. And I hope to never become like that. But thank you for telling me that I'm bad at what I do. I'm sorry that you feel that that's an okay thing to say to people, because then you probably say it to yourself. But I mean, I think that it's better to be nice and nurturing and help people grow with love and kindness than berating them and telling them that they're bad at the one thing that they're trying to do and just tearing them down. But yeah, I appreciate that you're trying to make me a better person, I guess. I just wish that you were more competent and able to do it. Encourage people in a way that doesn't make you look so repugnant. I do say it myself. That's what makes me a better guy. Yeah, I mean, that's great. I'm glad that you're berating yourself. Maybe try being nicer to yourself. I think that you're a beautiful person, my cunt. And you're probably very wet and very got a lot of flaps on you, my cunt. And I bet you got a nice, juicy little clit. So, look at the good side. Don't just look at your yeast infections, Mike cunt. Do you know about mud flood and tartary? No, I guess I don't know a lot of things. Eating strawberry, banana, shortcake. So I wrote a lot of stuff today. I think that MMA is a beautiful sport. I think that things can be better if we recognize that we are a collective consciousness and make the behavior of our collective consciousness better, and not just let it fall to the wayside and do whatever the people that control our subconscious want to do. We don't. Okay. Join a union. Stop worshiping billionaires. They're not better than us. We should be making our own decisions. You have to worship billionaires to let them do what they're doing. That came after I sang the Solidarity Forever song at a karaoke, and they cut me off early. And I was like, join a union. Don't worship billionaires. They're not better than us. We should be making our own decisions. I just think that we let billionaires design our cities, and that's why we have giant highways running through our city centers, and we have unwalkable communities that are not fit for humans. I mean, if you go outside into one of these strip mall, like fucking stroads, these giant 6-lane highways that you're supposed to drive like 45 miles per hour through, it's not for humans, which is ridiculous because we are humans and we design cities that we can't exist in comfortably. It's not comfortable to walk through a road that has cars traveling at 50 miles per hour zooming past your head and kicking up all that pollution and brake dust. So yeah, why don't we design our cities for ourselves, for human beings, instead of cars, which we get in occasionally, but we aren't cars. If cars were an alien species and they came down to Earth, it'd be like, thank you for building us this wonderful environment, even though it is to your detriment. Fight Club. Yeah, I mean, we have power. We are the people. We should do whatever we want, instead of letting a billionaire tell us what to do, because the billionaire is only going to make decisions that benefit a billionaire. We are going to make decisions that benefit us. And if we can control things, then we can make a better world for us and not just 5 billionaires. How do you feel about electric vehicles? I mean, a lot of pollution is created by brake dust and tires or whatever. I think that electric cars are great, but I think even greater than electric cars is walking. Walking is really good for you. It releases your blood, and it's like how your body is meant to function. Like if you walk around, then your body like kicks into gear all this shit that's tied into walking, like your immune system and your fucking circulatory system. But if you just sit in your car all day, then your body doesn't have that energy that you get from walking to convert into blood pumpingness, and then your body just has to force blood without that fucking blood, without that walking energy. Like you create a lot of energy when you're walking. You're jostling around, you're going back and forth, and that does shit to your shit. I think public transportation is amazing. I think it's more efficient. If you look at how many cars it takes to transport 70 people in cars, it's like it goes all the way back here, but 70 people in a train, it's like very much smaller, and it's just a better way. Instead of making our cities for cars, we should make them for people. But then if you don't have cars, you can't jet out of downtown and go to your suburb and escape the horrible community of people that you made because you wanted to import slaves and use them as free labor and live like a fucking Spartan in the 1800s. So, whatever. I used to live in Glasgow. The city council there openly said that the cars give them more from taxes so they won't build bicycle lanes. Yeah, I mean, if the people control the government, then it's like whatever. Hans used to walk around Seattle like a bum. I drove around Seattle like a rich suburban child. Trains are very bad for pandemics. But luckily, we can shelter in place. We live in an Amazon era. But unfortunately, we won't do it. Party time. Would you ever consider skydiving while doing stand-up, fly-down comedy? Sure. I don't really want to, if I'm doing fly-down comedy, I would just like talk to people like I'm flying down. I think if you do stand-up comedy, just like, hi guys, oh, I'm on Johnny Carson right now, and you're in like a shitty dive bar, then you're not going to be in the moment. So I tried to do comedy in a way that it's honest to where I am. So I would do comedy, skydiving in a way that's honest to where I am and flying and all that. How do you turn the unique, crazy things that happen in your life to comedy? That's what I can't figure out. Very dark comedy is where my mind seems to go. How do you turn the unique, crazy things about? I mean, you shouldn't. You should just express yourself and get it out there, even if it seems dark to you. There's a way to turn that not dark, and the way that you turn it not dark is by fucking up and turning it dark, and then you realize, oh shit, that's not socially viable. And then you just keep practicing and doing it over and over again until you figure it out. And then, like I can't tell you how to do you. You're very unique, and apparently you're very dark. And you need to express that, because if you're dark, then we need to know that you're dark so that we know what all the diodes on the board are saying. And if you're going through some dark shit, you should let people know so that we know that you're going through some dark shit, and then we have a more accurate representation of the world. And that you're suffering, and that there's suffering going on, and then we don't act oblivious, but we internalize and recognize the suffering that you're going through, and maybe work as a society to eliminate as much suffering on a large scale as possible by giving people basic human rights. Asians won't research the Great Tartar Eagle. Can I mention? I'll go ahead. Sucking on Himalayan salt today. Don't tempt me. I would love... I'm sorry, I was slurping my drink. You can come over to my house if you ever go to Vancouver. Okay, thanks, man. I love Vancouver. Vancouver is a very walkable city, somewhat. I didn't make any resolutions. Joe Rogan probably said this on his podcast, but he also said it yesterday in the green room, which I was invited to because I was booked at 8:10 p.m. But he was like, this girl is so annoying in the green room. She's like, actually, that's just the way that the way that things go is like, it's just, you just need to have like a 2-year plan. And it was like, she was just like really like, she was just saying everything she was thinking, and like it didn't actually work grammatically, but she would just say anything. And she was in the green room talking to Joe Rogan, and she's like, so what's your like 2-year plan? What's your plan for the future? Like, do you have a 2-year plan? And like, what are you going to do in 2 years? And Joe's like, I've never done that. I've never had a 2-year plan. I just do whatever I like to do, and I do it consistently and have discipline about it. But yeah, I don't write down, oh, this is what I want to do. It's like, he said that it's a lot of procrastination, that they just don't want to actually work towards their goal. They just want to imagine having it instead of actually doing it, because doing it is hard and boring, but thinking about having it, that's fun. And if you can make imagining being successful into and trick yourself into thinking that you're working hard towards your goal, then it's a circular loop. You're just gonna be imagining how awesome your life's gonna be, and then it's never gonna happen. I know a lot of MMA fighters, they visualize their victory and visualize doing the victorious finishing blow, and that helps them actually do that. But that's like the icing on the cake. The chunky bready part of the cake is the hard work and the hours of practicing kicks and punching and doing all that good shit that actually makes that visualization possible. So maybe if I do that, maybe I'll be a better person. Maybe if I have enough, whatever. Where do you get your ideas from? From observing the society around me and living my life and being a human being. All the best parts of whatever my comedy is the best parts of all people. I respect people and I love people, and so I love myself because I'm a person. And I think that if you don't love people, then you think that you have to be something that you're not. But you are a person, and you gotta love people because you are a person and you're surrounded by people. And there's a lot of good things about people, and that's inside you, or whatever. But yeah, I love humanity, and I try to find the common themes in all of our lives, because that is probably universal and probably helps me the most, instead of finding like a specific thing about me, like the unique way that I grow my eyebrow hair or something. My favorite Mitch Hedberg joke is probably, I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to too. I think it's just great how simple it is and how it plays with language. Bro, you fucked up. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Nope. Completely sober. I took a nap. Doing pretty good. How'd you get into podcasting? What's your 3-year plan? Oh my God, with the 3-year plan. I just did a thing about 2-year plans, and then you did a 3-year plan on me. How'd I get into podcasting? I was like, I do comedy. That only takes up 3 minutes at a time for open mics and shit. Tony does know I'm a bleeding heart liberal. And then I was like, well, what else can I do? I could just talk endlessly for hours. So then I was like, what's the lowest effort art form I can do? Podcasting. So then I decided to get into podcasting because it's so easy. Do you know any Korean proverbs? 병 주고 약 주냐? 약 주냐? 병 주고 약 주냐? 병 주고 약 주냐? It's this thing I heard on a Korean drama. 병 주고 약 주냐? It means, you gave me the disease and then you gave me the medicine. It's like when you're like, dude, you're so fucking fat, dude. I bet it takes forever to find your little dick inside of all your fat. And then your friend is hurt. You're like, dude, I was just kidding. You're so fucking awesome, dude. The fact that you're so fat makes you like really physically intimidating. And I think that you should go talk to that chick, because chicks love big strong men. Then he'd be like, you gave me the disease, now you give me the medicine. Why don't you just not give me the disease to begin with, and then you don't have to do all that. So you guys want to hear some royalty-free music while I go take a shit? Cause I gotta take a shit. Maybe, what's the thing about fucking playing other people's YouTube videos? Miami Vice. It's 50 minutes. Hopefully I'll take less time to shit than 50 minutes. Okay. Um, maybe like poop outside and he's locked out. I just took a shit. I don't know how long that was. That was pretty short in terms of the shits that I take. I like to sit on the toilet and really make sure everything's out. I haven't had a job in a while, so I haven't really had to make sure my shits are on like a short time scale. I mean, maybe if I did have a job, I'd make sure my shits were even longer. But yeah, I usually like to sit there and just let my asshole just dangle over the water and make sure everything, all the shit from the asshole just falls out, just to make sure nothing is in there. Um, but yeah, it's good to be in a house. The biggest thing about van life is the shits are very hard to do. If it's in the daytime, I usually go to like a Starbucks or like a Target. If it's at nighttime, then I either shit at a comedy club or I uh, I shit in my trash can and then bag it up and throw it away, or I shit outside, um, which is what I did when I was camping. So I used to camp out in the desert for 2 weeks at a time, and then I'd go back into the city for more vittles. But I really miss those times, being out in nature, being away from everyone, and just being by myself and just complete silence and aloneness. It was an amazing feeling. I mean, you're never really alone. Like in California, there were like jets flying all over the place, just training and practicing. And there's like other people who are camping. They have like these huge setups and they all gather together in these giant fucking caravan villages, and then they ride ATVs all over the place kicking up dust. I'd be away from them. I'd be in like a little corner. Mount Superstition is what I'm thinking of. And as long as you're not in an ACEC area of concern, of environmental concern or something, you can be out there and everyone would be together in the same place, and I'd be like far away, all alone. Oh man, I miss that. I miss being in the desert. But I like being in society and civilization and being able to do cool shows like Joe Rogan shows. So it's like, I use society to make my life better, because without society, my life is meaningless. The whole point of my life is to improve society and other people and make other people's lives better. Otherwise, I have no purpose or point. So just being out in the woods, just feeling comfortable and pleasurable and peaceful is nice, but it's a shallow goal, and I need some bigger purpose in my life, and that is to help the society and tribe that I was born and I am a part of. And my society and tribe, unfortunately and fortunately, is one of the best, biggest, most technologically advanced tribes in the world and in the universe and in history and in the galaxy. So I am obligated by my tribe to make an impact on a galactic and very large scale. So if I want to be a part of this society, I have to go for something grand and large, and that's why I picked comedy, because comedy is thinking and thoughts and just transmitting my ideas and thoughts to the world. I think is a very cool thing to do. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we have to make such a big contribution on a large scale, but fortunately we have the tools of technology and the minds that our ancestral hominids have gifted us to be able to do that. I'm not just like Cro-Magnon or an Australopithecus trying to formulate ideas and thoughts about what I think everyone else should hear. How old are? Question mark. How old are? Question mark. German Moreno. Forgot the subject or object. Remember on Kill Tony said a girl fingered your butthole? Are you okay? Yeah, I mean, it was a weird experience and I'm glad that I went through it. But yeah, I'm okay. It's not like a terrible thing. It's just normal. It's 2022 now. Should I go to the Yellow Rose or the Red Rose, Hans? I can only make it to one of them. I have an affinity for Stormy, so I would go to the Yellow Rose, but I heard the Red Rose is good too. But yeah, Stormy is at the Yellow Rose, and I would love to go visit Stormy and see what she's all about. Very skinny boy. And I can't always handle the rigors of a lap dance. Sometimes they gyrate on me too hard, and they're used to big beefy men apparently because they rock my world literally. Maybe just do a little light penis rubbing or something, but everyone has a different style, and you just gotta find a style that fits you. Yellow Rose is where it's at. I thought you were asking where Yellow Rose is. And I was just going to say Google it because I can't provide a very good answer just verbally. Like, it's on the latitude of 94.179. And the other one. How old are you? I got it this time. I'm 32. I'm pretty old. I'm an old man. But I'm a late bloomer, so it makes sense. You know, I didn't get laid for a while, and then I still have the skin of when I'm supposed to get laid, so it's like I still have time. I can still go to a college and not appear as creepy as my 32-year-old brethren, because I look like a little boy, so I can prey upon young children. But unfortunately, I'm still awkward as fuck, and I refuse to give it up. Anyone can get laid by being confident. It takes a real man to get laid with no confidence. That's true skill. Oh, you just become a better person and you get laid. Anyone can be a better person and get laid. I'm trying to get laid by not changing myself at all. Just kidding. I did a lot of work to change myself, and honestly, it's quite exhausting. And I don't know how much longer I can keep it up. So I hope that I become fuckable soon because I'm running out of energy. Favorite member of Sistar? I don't really know them that well, but I love their songs. Very, very poppy, but they just lean into the poppiness. They're like, we're just going to create just the shallowest songs ever, but make it awesome so that it's not shallow anymore. Hugh Matthew? That's what I thought. I have no idea what the fuck that meant, Hemphead. Who, Matthew? That's what I thought. Yeah, I mean, I love women. I love people. I love some men, not in a sexual way. I love a lot of women in a sexual way. But I love interacting with people and getting to know them. And, you know, I just don't want to go outside my wheelhouse and try to get chicks that don't know me because I think that, you know, especially in America, I think people are very offended if you want to sexually have congress with them. They're like, I need this to survive. Don't just ruin it to have fun. I need healthcare and all that. So I think it's like a more vicious environment out there, and they get offended if you want to fuck them. It's like, oh, sorry. But I think that where people like know me and where I have an advantage, I feel like I get treated like I think I should, how I'm entitled to get treated. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to need fame or, you know, kill Tony people to fuck me. But it's like, if I don't have that, it's brutal. Girls are so mean. And they think they deserve to be mean to you because you're trying to fuck them, and that's a bad thing. You shouldn't be trying to fuck people. You should just think that they're attractive from afar or something. Did you hear what happened yesterday? Yeah, a lot of things happened yesterday. Entitled The American Way. Yeah, it's manifest destiny. I can manifest my destiny of, you know, it's like, I don't want to look at pussy as an object. But if I don't have it a lot, then it's like fucking the only way to think about it is like an object, because it's like, it's definitely, if I take it like a personal thing, then it's like, oh, I'm just personally a shitty person or something, which I probably am. But I don't know, how shitty am I? Am I this shitty? I don't think so. But yeah, I'm incel. I'm bitter, I guess, but I'm working on it. I think women are great or whatever. They make all the right decisions all the time. Us, just a horn dog, Hans. Work on your game and you'll be good. I detest working on my game. I probably will do the least amount of effort possible, and try hard in whatever way that I do it. I do lots of psychedelics. Um, I think it's tough to be a woman, and I think we should give them basic human rights, and then also stop raping them, because that's a pretty terrible thing that men do to women. And I think men are very much shittier than women. I think that we are brainwashed by capitalist propaganda more than women are, and they have more niceness and intuition about how to be decent people. And they don't just take jobs to make more money. They take jobs to live good lives and be fulfilled and be happy and make a positive impact in the world. So I think that's where it should be at. Yeah, I mean, discrimination, women treating men shitty is bad, but men treating ugly women shitty is like way worse. Hans, are you a liberal? I'm guessing under your definition of liberal that I am, but liberal has so many different definitions. But yes, I'm on the left side of the political spectrum, and I think that's the correct side. That's the side that wasn't enslaving people and dragging gay people through the dirt roads and making marijuana illegal and invading foreign countries for bananas. And I just think they were more correct overall, and it's the future, and they're technologically more advanced. My date just effed me out of our date because she caught COVID. That's a good thing. You don't want to get COVID. Your date did you a favor. If only we could all be so kind. We need them. They don't need us. I don't know what that's about. Are you really autistic? I mean, you be the judge. It's not like a fucking solid thing. It's like such a amorphous disease, and people just say that offhandedly. But yeah, I mean, do you need a doctor to tell you what I'm like? You know what I'm like. I'm telling you what I'm like. Democrats wanted slavery, but that's the Dixiecrats. They're on the right side of the political spectrum. The party switched. Look it up. Yeah, I mean, the people in the South wanted slavery, and they were Democrats in the past, but now they're Republicans. The name changed. Their ideology didn't. It doesn't really matter what they call themselves. They're on the right side of the political spectrum of wanting to preserve the old way of doing things and enslaving people. Associating with either side, a massive indicator that someone is a little brainwashed. I mean, you have to associate with something. You can't just be apathetic and lazy all your life. At some point, you're gonna fucking figure out what you believe in and what you think is going on. That moves with every statement. There should be an autism meter in the bottom left-hand corner that moves with every statement. Yeah, I mean, why is being an animal and just talking emotionally the most treasured thing, and talking logically and with a lot of thought and logic and conscious effort supposed to be a disease? I think that the way that people talk animalistically is a disease, and how they only think about their feelings and emotion and don't have any logical through line through their conversation is a kind of a dumb way to talk, and it's actually worse than being autistic. So these jocks and these these shopaholics think that not being able to talk to them is a disease, but I don't want to talk. You can't talk to me. Like, I can talk to jocks and idiots and athletes and like people who always want to be cool, but like people who are like cool and always awesome all the time, they cannot talk to nerds because they need to feel cool all the time. And if they feel a little bit of awkwardness or a little uncool, then they're like freaking out. Yeah, I mean, you should learn how to talk to nerds. Nerds can talk to you. You can't talk to nerds because you need to be cool all the time. But yeah, I mean, I think it's cool to be different types of people. I just think that there's more discrimination going from jocks hating nerds than nerds hating jocks. I think that I would love to talk to jocks, but they don't want to learn a new way of talking. Nerds have to constantly learn new ways of talking and recognize that their way of being is unnatural and unsustainable, but jocks never have to do that, so they just keep getting worse and worse. From personal opinion, not just because you picked a side to stand for something. Yeah, I mean, you should mold your views from personal opinion, but then you realize that one side is consistently illogical and always pursuing their self-interest and short-term profits, and the other side is more logical and pursuing the best for all people, and that side is the left side, and the side that's more interested in preserving an unequal wealth distribution is the right side of this political spectrum. But how much is opening for Rogan Pay? I'm not telling you. I don't want to piss off anyone, including the people that book me. So yeah, I mean, I'll tell you if I'm given permission to. Are you still talking about slavery? What the fuck? It's 2022. Slavery is over. There's more black CEOs in the world more than ever. Yeah, but there's way more white CEOs. And slavery is over, but we still have Confederate flag statues and a lot of remnants of the slavery time still existing in our current world. We haven't totally repented and reformed our ways from our slavery past like the Nazis or the Germans did after Nazi Germany. We kind of loved it. We were like, no, I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm going to keep on living the way that I'm living. Have you put enough time into developing your opinion on this hands, bro? On these hands, bro? You can't even threaten me properly. Have you put enough time into developing your opinion on this hand, bro? What, you're gonna jerk me off? You want to pluralize these? But yeah, I mean, if you want to jerk me off, whatever. Republicans ended slavery in America, and the right wing started slavery in America. The conservatives started slavery in America. Is Joe Rogan going to take you on the road? I hope so. I'm obviously very, very eager and happy to do that, but who am I to demand it? You say with the same cringy smugness most people on the left have. Holy shit, don't meet your heroes, folks. Yeah, I'm pretty far on the left. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to not be smug when your opponents have been wrong about slavery and gay marriage and marijuana. It's like, why are we even listening to these people? Just because they exist doesn't mean that they are they have a point or that you should put a space in your mind for them logically. I still want to be nice to them. I still want to be kind, but yeah, I'm not debating this anymore. This is already, gay people deserve rights. They're not horrible people. So you shouldn't enslave people. You should give people a nice society to live in, and if they don't do well, then it's not their fault if you put them in a horrible situation. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to be smug, but I think believing in some of the things that right-wing people believe is horrific, and it's hard for me to stomach that emotionally, so I guess I am smugged as a defense mechanism so that I can continue progressing my thought past, do black people deserve human rights? But yeah, I mean, I love the right wing. I love, a cold beer on a summer night. I love a pickup truck. I just don't love their idea for how to treat minorities or wealth distribution. You can't just say something good and claim it's left. Many people on the right would agree with your statements. That's true. I shouldn't make it so polarizing so that you have to give up everything that you held dear to agree with me. There's a lot of things that we don't have to label left or right that are good, like the left and right is a very binary way to see the world, and it's also a product of the American culture that I grew up in. Is like heaven and hell, angel and demon, left and right, but it should be like more in line. So your own opinions suck because there are people on the right that literally would agree. I agree. Maybe I should be more nice to whatever the conservatives, but yeah, I mean, I like to progress past abortion. I think abortion is, you should be able to kill babies. Babies need to be murdered. Jesus was a socialist. Have you kicked it with Tim Dillon? I saw Tim Dillon yesterday. Dude's fucking hilarious. He fucking murdered last night. and he's very, very politically minded. Go shooting when you're camping is legal out there. I would love to go shooting. I haven't had a gun when I've been camping. I wish I was out there right now. Learn from Gil, so you can check out the Wacky Wisdom podcast. I do love all sorts of people. I think that in Korea, the right wing is also been tainted by the American politics and all that. But I think that with in Korea, there's like a more fundamentally sound cultural backdrop to the conservatives. I'm sure that conservatives are horrible in Korea too, but it's like tradition and the old way of thinking and like camping and hunting and like all that shit isn't tainted with the same shit that it is in America. So like I hold a lot of beliefs that some people might think are right. Foetus tells her solid about her about the president of Ferrari. Elemental creator will start the biggest bullshit ever. That was just some Asian guy, Sir Rios. What happened to Paige? Does she still go to Kill Tony shows? No, she doesn't. She broke up with me multiple times, and I don't think she really wanted to be with me. She thought she could do better, and I hope she is. Hey Gil, I whatever do think so. Nazi Germany was National Socialist. Democratic People's Republic of Korea is democratic. What else is going on? I don't want to piss anyone off. Let's see. People are just evolved. I'm at a hotel bar watching this. Hi, Hans. Oh my God, at a hotel bar. I can't even imagine being at a hotel bar right now. That's such a mind fuck because it's such a different environment. Where's Christy? I believe that you meant to spell that with a K and a Y at the end. Christy Vera. She is in, Christy Vera's in Atlanta. She posted it on her Instagram, so I don't feel bad telling you all. But she is a fucking in Atlanta right now. She's making her way on over here. She's gonna be here soon, apparently. And I hope that she's having a good time on her way over here. And I hope that she will actually have sex with me one of these days. But that's not necessary. It's just something that I really, really want and think about sometimes. But she's a great person to hang out with, who I also want to have sex with. And I hope that's okay to say because whatever. But she is a little wild, and she's a little. She just does whatever she wants, and sometimes it's not always something that she should do in polite society, but I think she's a nice person at heart, and she's very smart and very interesting, and I enjoy hanging out with her because she just says whatever she wants. I finally left my mom's basement. Congrats, Mudit Verma. Mudit. I did a podcast with him very early on in the pandemic. Whoever thinks their political ideas don't have a totalitarian extreme to them is clueless. Yeah, we shouldn't murder people and put them in camps, but to not have confidence in your political opinions is weak, and you should believe in what you believe in and stand by the conviction of your thoughts, because those are the only people who change the world. Who's your favorite chick you've kissed on Kill Tony? Stormy was very good, and she's just my type. She's like a girl that I would fantasize over, so it's amazing that I get to kiss her. Do you believe you have a sex addiction? If I haven't had sex in 3 months, I don't think I have a sex addiction. I think I want a sex addiction. I think I'm addicted to wanting to be addicted to sex. Do you think J.K. Rowling Jr. is still alive and will run for president? J.K.R. Jr. I think he meant JFK Jr. is still alive. J.K.R. Jr. Love other people, says Vitor Spencer. Thank you. I will sell merch soon. I had something sent in, but I got lost in the mail, so I'm waiting for that to develop. Hopefully it'll be at the Vulcan. Entitlement much? Yeah, I think I'm entitled to pussy, just like a starving person's entitled to food. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that women should give me sex. I think that we should be having a lot more sex as a generation, and then I'm a part of this generation, so I also want to have more sex. But is it normal to not want sex? Should that be the norm, where we're like, ew, gross. People are gross. I don't want to have sex with any of them. I think that's a bad way to do it. Political opinions are gay. No one should have thoughts on politics because that makes you so lame, dude. It would be interesting to see which countries do it for COVID, which side of the political spectrum they are on. Yeah, I mean, COVID is a crazy, crazy pandemic. When the hell are you going to go to the JRE? Probably 14 months from now, if I'm lucky. That's the fast track. Maybe in 2022. But, it's not like I'm entitled to it. It's not like vagina, which I am. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, it's like a woman. You don't want to be like, I deserve your pussy. I need your pussy. I shouldn't go up to Joe and be like, hey, Joe, I need to get on JRE. It's my destiny. We were meant to be. I just got to go with the flow, man. Just chill out, just hang out, and soon maybe it'll happen. What are your thoughts on the large PC movement within the left? I think that they are products of American culture, and they approach being on the left side of the spectrum with the same zeal that a conservative approaches their conservatism. And they're just like, it's a game to them. It's just they want to win. And how can you blame them? They learn from their fathers. So, I mean, you enslave people, you invade foreign countries, you make banana republics in Latin America, you have oppressive labor rights. And this is what you get. You get annoying lefties. And I think that's a just punishment. From now on, all your Thanksgivings will be ruined because you ruined Costa Rica and Nicaragua. But also, the PC movement is authoritarian and gay, as according to Jasmine. Who's your favorite comedian? Probably Dr. Flabadoos. What's easier, Jerry or pussy? I mean, Joe Rogan had 2,000 guests on. So I would say there's 2,000 people that have been on Jerry or something. And there are billions of people who have had sex. So I would say Jerry is more precious than sex. I think a lot of people would give up sex for 5 years to be on Jerry, although it shouldn't be a choice. Do I listen to any comedy pods? Yeah, I love comedy pods. I love pods like Joe Rogan. I love pods like Cumtown. I used to love a lot of different pods. But I gotta go shave. Joe Rogan's show starts at 8. Thank you guys for being here. And I love it. I love everything. How does it feel living rent-free and living off of your friends? It feels amazing because I'm not really hurting her. And it was going to be here anyway, so I don't really feel bad about it. And I think it's a great place to be. So thank you guys so much, and I love you. And I hope to play Catan tonight. Who knows? I never know what's happening.